few I know got my back. Just listen up, these facts. Walking mile in my shoes, you probably switch your ankle. So much shit I overcame, so God I thank you. It's cold in the deep, plus it's so much hate. The reason why niggas blow up and switch up states. My dog switching up places, be careful, cause the road high. Some minutes steps we get slick, then we both fly. Can't tell me nothing, I'ma keep on track. As long as I got it.
What's going on YouTube? What it do, Jim Shoe? It's your boy Brandon Bars, and it's story time. A lot of people have been wondering like how I came out, how I become what I am now, when did this happen. So I'm gonna just give y'all a rundown about what's going on. Alright? Back. Alright, so I guess you could say it started around like growing up, I did not like dudes whatsoever. Like growing up, I did not even look at dudes that way. I guess you could say it got more to maybe when I was about hitting puberty, around puberty time. Around puberty time, you get to experiment. And I've always been the type that if I never tried it, I can't knock it. You feel me? You gotta try it to know if you like it or not. I mean, I had this best friend. Okay, my mom had a best friend, and her best friend had a grandson. His name was Miguel, and we had got real close. And as the time go on, you know how dudes is, you know, put on porn and shit, you know, jack off, shit like that. But then I don't know who made the advance, but I just know we just started fucking around with each other. You know, little grabby here, jack off there, shit like that. But neither one of us was coming at the time because, you know, we're still young. We probably like maybe like 12, 11. You feel me? Young as 12. So I didn't think of shit like that. You know, I'm just like, okay, it's just something to do. At that time, I'm not really thinking about like, oh no, I'm not gay. I'm just, you know, I'm just fooling around. You know, I didn't think about that because at the time, I'm still so invested with females. Like, I'm in love with females. Like at this time, but I'm experimenting. So, Miguel ended up moving to Arizona, and that was like my best friend at the time too. And he ended up moving to Arizona, so that kind of fucked me up. So at this time, I took a break from experiment, because that was the only person I experimented. It was just like, okay, if it wasn't experimenting with him, I wasn't about to do it because that shit was gross to me. That just, I don't know, that's how I kind of like felt. I guess that's how I felt, because once me and him did something, it was like I wasn't even thinking about doing anything with nobody else. It was just like, shit just happened. Like, we'd do it, but we wouldn't talk about it the next day. You feel me? It was like, it would just happen. So once he moved to Arizona, what happened? I mean, I just started fucking with bitches. I just started fucking with hella hoes until, let me see, shit, until maybe, I would say about 16, when it kind of rekindled back up. When I started messing with this dude named, I'm gonna call him Swagger. That's what I'm gonna call him Swagger. When I started messing with this dude named Swagger, I ain't gonna put his real name out there, but he was a light-skinned dude. I always got a thing for light-skinned, curly hairs, like mixed breeds. I love. Like, I don't know why, it's just something that I love about them. That's just my type. I love that. Like, I don't know. So, hold on, I'm gonna get back to that. So yeah. So like I said, it started back up when I was around 15, 16. I met this dude named Swagger, around the corner when I was standing on 7 Mile Greenfield. Now at this time, I was curious, but I never like initiated anything, or never was like to go out there and find anything or try to do anything with nobody. The weird, like, this happened so weird. Okay, so me and Swagger got real close. Like, we were hanging out every day, you know, we were spending night at each other's cribs and shit. Like, this was like my home dog. Anybody that know me probably know who I'm talking about. This was my right-hand man. Alright, so, we was cool for maybe like 8 months and shit like that. Then, one night he had ended up spending the night. And, no, we in the bed just chilling, blowed as hell. And, we watching TV or something. I can't remember so vividly, but all I remember is we was laying down, and I remember this nigga putting having his hands, like rubbing his hands on me. And I'm like, maybe this nigga sleep. I know you're tripping. Maybe just having a dream and shit like that. Then I noticed that this nigga was actually up, but he was trying to fake like he sleep though. You know how niggas is. They trying to fake like they sleep, but they not. But then I'm like, how you go fake like you sleep and you coming on to me? I'm like, all right. So I'm like, oh, word. So it's that type of party. I'm like, okay. Like I kind of, back in my head, it was like, I kind of figured, I don't know. I kind of figured that he would be down for it. He was kind of curious, but then I didn't know. But once he came on to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I know for sure. So after that happened, it was like, that was my dog. Like, that was my dog. Like, we was like thick as thieves, you feel me? We were thick as thieves, and we wasn't doing it often. But that person right there made me want to do it more, put it like that. Basically, he kind of turned me out, put it like that. Yeah, he turned me out. But it wasn't like, fuck you turning out. It was like, the experience, I liked it. I wanted to experience more. You feel me? So, that's what that situation happened. Let's fast forward. Go pause right there. Let's fast forward until, let's see, like 4 years later. So I'm like 19. Now, at this point, in the hood, people, they kind of think it, but they not sure because I always put hoes on the floor for niggas. Like, I always had a bad bitch. Always. So, it was like a cover-up. Niggas wasn't sure. Niggas had said it, but niggas were like, hell no, man, that nigga got too many hoes. You feel me? Like, shit like that. But once I got to maybe like 19, I met this dude named Cage. And Cage was light-skinned, Puerto Rican, my type. He was straight when I met him, actually. He was straight when I met him, and I was curious. At this point, like, I was like very curious, like, but I wasn't at a point where I can actually be with a dude. It was like, nah, hell no. If I ever thought I would be with a dude back then, I'd say no, because I didn't even see that happen. Because at the time I messed with Cage, I was dating a stripper girl. She was working at, what was she working at? Pantheon. She was working at Pantheons. So yeah, so when me and her together and shit like that, Cage came around, we got cool and shit like that, you know, and just one night on some drunk shit. Because we so close, and I'm like, all my people around me, if anybody around me knew, anybody you see me around me knew, they knew about me, period, because that's just how I am. I never came under them, but I wanted to make sure my niggas that was around me knew, just in case somebody came to them, they would already hip, it wouldn't be news to their ears. I'd rather come out of my mouth. So with that being said, I wanted to tell Cage. So this is one drunk night, me and Cage. The one drunk night is me, my dog Short, and Cage. Short I already know because that's my dog. That's like that's bro for sure. So ended up telling Cage, like, yeah, because I grow very fond of him. Like, I started actually liking this dude. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just tell him and see what the fuck he say. Fuck it, I'm drunk. What's worse he could say? So I ended up telling him, like, actually I had Short end up telling him because I didn't even have the courage to tell this nigga. My dog Short ended up telling him for me, and he was like, what, nigga, what? Cage was like, what? I'm like, yeah. He like, man, I could never even expect it. What, for real? And I was like, yeah. He was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, because I'm thinking he about to just blow the fuck up or some shit like that, but he didn't. It was like, he was actually flattered that I liked him. And once he said he was flattered, I'm like, okay, ding, it's a possibility. So once he knew that shit, he started like saying little gay shit like that just so I can act on it and shit like that. So one day I actually did, and it was just off from there. We just got real close and shit, and I fell in love with the nigga. Like, I did. I fell deep in love with this nigga. Like, deep in love with this nigga. For real. We was together for 4 years. He was locked up a couple times. This shit was crazy. Shit was crazy, like, for real. And we got to a point where we was in a hotel room, and like, we were just so crazy in love. Like, we were just young and in love. We didn't give a fuck. We didn't give a fuck, because it was already going around that I was bisexual. No, this was before. This was before. Okay, this is exactly how I happened. Okay, this was before. Okay, so we was at the room. This is exactly how I came out. We was at the room and we was all in love. We like, fuck it. We gonna just take a picture. We don't give a fuck what nobody say, nigga. We in love. So we just take a picture and go upload it. Took a picture, uploaded. Bitch went viral. Bitch went viral. And remember, at this time, I'm in a group called RMG. So, and at the time, everybody know that we do music and shit. We're very popular. So when this picture uploaded, man, this shit went viral. When I say viral, man, this shit went fucking viral. Like, it was like, how can you go from this to this? It was like a group picture of us rapping, standing by side side. Then it was us kissing and shit. It was funny to me. It really didn't affect me for real until the long run. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because it didn't work out. I basically put my music career on the line to be with somebody. Never do that. Never do that. Never do that. Never do that. Because now I feel like I wish I would have came out when I wanted to. You feel me? Like, it was like I was just stuck in the moment and I didn't come out exactly when I wanted to. If I was able to push my music harder, way harder before I came out, I'd be in a better situation. No, I don't blame fault. It's my fault. I take my part of accountability. But I just wish I was able to come out when I wanted to. Because once that shit didn't work out, it was like I start from scratch all over again. I ain't gonna tell you about what happened through the relationship. It was a lot of fucked up shit that happened. Because he was like me. He was like me. Like, you can't put two niggas in a relationship and expect shit to fall through. Even though he was the bottom, he was still a nigga and he did nigga shit. You feel me? So that's how I fucking came out. You feel me? I mean, I was never touched or anything like that as young. I was never touched or anything. It was like my own decision, I guess, to be what I wanted to be. But once I came out, it was like, fuck it. I'm not hiding no more. I don't give a fuck. Like, cause I was never like really hiding, but I didn't just want people to know my business because I feel like I wasn't at where I needed to be at musically wise to be able to come out and still have that certain fan base. Cause once I came out, my fan base completely dropped. Like, completely dropped. Cause I don't blame them. You can't go from rapping from the shit that I used to do to now rapping about some shit that I don't do. So now I'm really just trying to find my lane and what I want to talk about and how I can impact both sides of my audiences. But yeah, that's how I came out. You feel me? And that's how I came out. Basically, people said it was exposure, but it's not exposure when you put it out there yourself. You feel me? It's different when somebody grab your shit and just put it out there. But we decided to do that shit on our own, so it wasn't really exposed. People say I was exposed, but I was never exposed. I don't look at it that way because we did it ourselves. You feel me? But yeah, that's it.